All right, everyone. Hello. It's been a long time. We are heading to Palos Verdes. Got my new bands. Got them all rigged up. I try to do the bridle assist combo that I thought I learned from Jose from Spear America. Didn't work out perfectly, so I had to cut it, and you can see that tie it together. But it seems like it's going okay. I'm gonna test out these bands. But we're gonna try a new spot in Palos Verdes. I think today's more of a scouting day. Hopefully we can land something nice. Hopefully a white sea bass, but nice sheephead is always good, calico. Even the opaleye and perch. So don't ever get discouraged. If you're newer to diving and you don't see anyone posting those fish, you can't spear those fish. Nice fish taco meat. Anyway, next week is the OC Classic, hosted by the OC Spearos, a local spearfishing group. So I'm gonna test out, make sure the rubbers are good, just get a little bit more dive time in before next week, because this is probably gonna be my last dive before next weekend. So here we go. We're gonna head over to Palos Verdes. Oh, Hurricane Hilary is slotted to hit early tomorrow, maybe later today. But essentially, this is the only pocket of time where it looks to be pretty decent. I got reports from a fellow surfing buddy that when he was out surfing yesterday, not super close to Palos Verdes, but in the general area, visibility was really good. So I'm hopeful. The surf is reported to be 1.5-ish feet, give or take. Winds at 5 miles an hour, so we're looking pretty soft, which is good. But we're gonna try out this new spot in Palos Verdes. Let's go. All right, everyone, we are at the spot, a brand new spot for us. We're gonna go down, check it out, and we'll let you know. But let us gear up and head in the water. All right, we're at this new spot. It looks pretty flat today, low surge. Surge meaning the kind of aggressiveness of the water shifting. But a great day to dive. Calm before the storm.
It's definitely calm before the storm. Hurricane Hilary is set to hit Southern California the next day. So today is primarily scouting out a new spot in Palos Verdes to potentially dive the next week for the OC Classic Spearfishing Tournament hosted by the OC Spearos. And I am testing out some new rubber that I put on the spear gun last night. Just make sure everything's good to go, bridles holding and all that. So an exciting day. It was promising with the surf being afoot. Periods between waves and sets were slated to be pretty big. So promising to be relatively calm, and it was. From the surface, surge was really light. Again, the waves were low and periods were long. Winds were low as well. So all the recipes for potentially good conditions, but we were heavily disappointed. Visibility was not the worst, but it was about 5 to 8 feet, and we're hoping to use that murkiness to potentially sneak up on some white sea bass, maybe. But again, the primary goal was exploring a new spot, testing out the spear gun, and enjoying the water. So here we go. Without further ado, calm before the storm. Let's dive in. So yes, catching a white sea bass during this dive would have been fantastic, But the main focus, again, was to really prep for that tournament next week. I would love to land one during that tournament again. My first one ever was that last year. But anyway, we are here. Massive school of Opaleye to my left. And this strategy is the classic dive down all the way to the bottom. Lay flat, lay calm, and really try to just move slowly, look slowly, not to warrant any sort of sudden movements. So here I'm looking at the school of Opaleye. I'm not totally committed of shooting one yet, but I still need to check out this new trigger mech and the new rubber, so I do end up changing my mind. But you'll see throughout the dive, I am trying this new technique out of going through the mid channel very slowly and quietly, but also can't go wrong with staying at the bottom. But here we go, trying to find a nice Opaleye to spear. This one was a pretty decent size, about 15 inches, just shy of 15 inches, so pretty good. So I noticed during the dive that the fish were pretty twitchy, so meaning most likely this area is fished pretty often. But as I'm heading down here, I just wanted to show everyone, look for that sheephead. I spook it by being a little too quick. So here we go, see it coming through. Lunge toward it and it spooks away. So what I should have done is kind of let myself float down, stop moving, and stop advancing toward the sheephead. Probably let myself kind of fall where I was, and then slowly straighten out my spear gun to try to take a shot. I think I was a little too rushed and therefore spooked the sheephead away. So just a tip. So that about wraps up this dive, but here's some stats from my watch. So my deepest dive was 31 feet, longest was 1 minute and 33. Overall dives I had 12. And the overall session was a little over an hour. The session surface time was 58 minutes. But I really focused on really trying to get proper breaks between dives, meaning I at least double the downtime to recover. You can see the dives are at least somewhat spaced apart, so I'm really trying to get disciplined on that. But overall, pretty good session. This area is the deepest is about 30 feet or so. So other data points, here's some more. But if you have any questions or if you have any tips on what I can improve on based on this, let me know. But I always like sharing this just so if you're curious on some of the stats. Also, I wanted to share this. This is the clip of me leaving the water. My right hand is out. You can see it's very murky here. There are some bigger rocks. So my hand is out, my right hand, so my face doesn't hit a big rock when the swell hits. Thank goodness today, the swells were pretty small, but nevertheless, you always want to be careful. You can see me always poking my head out, looking behind me. I'm looking for the next set or the next swell to be coming up. Even with these smaller waves, you just want to keep that good practice, especially shore diving. So as I'm going in, I'm reaching out with my right, but also kind of swiping downward because very quickly the C4 can come up pretty quick, or the shoreline. So once you can feel the shore, or essentially you can stand up, I would say if the water is lower than your waist generally, that's okay. But you can see me standing up here. What I generally wait for is the swell to be coming back out. That's when I stand up. It helps me. It helps assist me when standing up. So here we go, and we are out. Not ideal for fiberglass fins to be stepping on these, but we are out of here.
All right, just wrapped up our dive. The rubber is holding up, and it is good. Managed to shoot a decent sized Opaleye. Gutted, bled. You can see it's still twitching. It's all the nerves. Perfect time for Ikojime. I probably said it wrong. And then smaller Sargo. I'm gonna cook these up. Yeah, there you go. But visibility was not great. Right around 5 to 8 feet most places. Some spots maybe 10 feet, but there you go. Overall, cool new spot. But I don't think we're gonna come back here for tournament day most likely. But definitely cool to have another spot in the arsenal. Alrighty everyone, usually I do a catch and cook after, but still doing that. But I just want to call this place out. I'm not sponsored by them by any means, but their sandwiches are delicious. They serve Wagyu and all that, but my favorite sandwich, they do like a Wagyu pastrami, which they're really known for. But my favorite sandwich is the prime sandwich. It's like prime rib steak. It's definitely a premium price. It's like $22. Comes with chips and a drink. It's still is a $20 sandwich, so it's a little pricey, but it's well worth it if you want to go treat yourself to something nice once in a while. But it's in Brea. Check it out. And but yeah, we're gonna do this. We're gonna hit up a boba shop and then head back, and then I'm gonna cook up the fish in a bit. But yeah, it's all part of the journey of diving. There it is, the prime sandwich. Go ahead and open that up, Jay. Oh boy. Woo. First time having it. Dive Buddy K. Grabbing some arugula.
Oh, that's nice.
Already took a bite, but couldn't help it. Here we go. It's always solid. Always solid. Alrighty, everyone. Thanks for sticking around. Sorry, but there is no catch and cook video today. One of my neighbors actually wanted to do a whole fish fry, make some amazing like Mexican cuisine, and he wanted to do like a fish fry with it. So I gave the Opaleye and the Sargo to him. He can probably make something amazing. He's gonna scale it and then do a whole fish fry. So gave it to him, but I don't want to leave you with nothing since you stuck around for this long. I'm gonna kind of briefly show how I dry my wetsuit, and then yeah, we'll wrap it up from there. So So let's go. So what I typically do is first assume everything's rinsed off. I rinse it with fresh water, make sure it's thoroughly cleaned with fresh water only, and then I flip it inside out first because I'm usually like already wet and I haven't showered yet. I flip it inside out, and then once it's dry on one side, I'll come out, depending on the sun, if it's directly during, like in the peak sunlight, and it's cooking outside, I try to be a little bit more cognizant of that, and I'll flip it over. So I'll flip it like this. This one already did that, so I'll flip it, make sure this side that's on the railing or whatever you're leaning on is getting dried. And then once this is dried, I'm gonna flip it inside out and repeat the process. Once both sides are completely dry, I'll stow it away in my box that I use, but you can put it in your closet or whatnot. But essentially you wanna make sure that you have adequate exposure for everything. What I like to do is mix up how I hang these. So I'll hang it like this, and then maybe next time I'll hang it where the legs are kind of on top of each other like this, and then repeat the same thing with the top. So I just flipped the bottoms here, so I'm going to leave it like this, and after a little while I'm going to flip this over so the under part gets dried as well. But I mainly do the inside first also because it is more sensitive. If you leave this outside, the neoprene will crack, or it will be more susceptible to cracking. So I do that first. Usually I dry it like this. If it's middle of the day, by the time I get out of the shower, one side is dry, I flip it, do my business, and then come out maybe in, if it's hot outside, I'll probably come out in the next 20 to 30 minutes and then flip it inside out and start leaving it like this. If you leave the outside side exposed to the sun a little longer than the inside, it's okay. Not ideal, but it's still okay. Better than that being exposed. So keep it like this and then go out. So the one thing to keep in mind as you do this, putting on a wetsuit, drying it, just handling a wetsuit in general, you want to be very careful with the neoprene. It latches on pretty easily. You want to avoid, if you have nails, digging into them, pulling from it. So I'm always trying to grab from the outside, even when I'm flipping wetsuits. If just say the legs are not fully up, perfect, like this. When you flip it inside out, instead of trying to go in there and pull it out, I'll grab it from the part that's not folded and I'll flick it open, so I'm not pulling the neoprene. And then let's see if the other side is folded as well. This one's good to go. So I'll do the same here, flip it inside out. So again, I'll try to avoid any sort of pulling or any stress that you're putting on the neoprene, taking it on, off, drying it, everything. So there you go. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.